Hi, it's Keith with Butterfield Color. We're back to discuss decorative concrete stains. I'm here with Jim again. Jim, how are you?
Great, how you doing, Keith?
Good. Today we're going to talk about several different types of concrete stains, both acid-based stains and water-based stains. Jim, would you mind telling us the differences between the two products?
Sure, Keith. The acid-based stains are basically metallic salts based in an acetic solution which chemically reacts with the concrete surface.
So there's actually a reaction with the existing concrete.
It is a reaction with the calcium hydroxide of the concrete itself.
Okay.
Every concrete surface is a little bit different, and every cement that's in the concrete can be a little bit different.
Okay.
That's part of the beauty of an acid stain is the variation of color that you can get.
Okay, and what about the water-based stains?
The water-based stains, you have a much bigger color palette, 24 standard colors, and their custom colors can also be made with the water-based stains.
Why might a customer or an owner choose one product or the other?
The acid stain has been around a little bit longer, so different contractors tend to use one or the other and sometimes utilize both on the same job.
Yeah, I noticed there was some cracks on this floors and some blemishes. Is that going to bother you, or is that something that...
Well, that's actually part of the beauty of stains. Stains will not hide those defects. In fact, a lot of times it enhances them.
You told me you're going to use an acid-based stain in this room,
That's correct.
Okay. Tell me what you're going to do from here.
Well, one of the first things we're going to do is actually prepare the surface. And even though the floor looks clean, we still need to clean this concrete surface.
Is that what this machine is for over here?
That's correct. This is a typical floor machine that you would use for cleaning. It can be combined, depending on the concrete surface, sometimes with a sanding screen, sometimes with a pad type material, and sometimes on harder floors, a grit type brush that is carborundum coated nylon bristles that will abrade the surface and get off all the loose particles, the drywall compound.
So it's safe to say that both the acid-based stain and the water-based stain must penetrate into the surface in order to work effectively.
That is correct.
Okay. And then why do you have these other pieces of equipment here? This looks like a grinder and another type of grinder?
Right. Well, in discussions with the owner, they wanted to keep the old world look in this particular facility.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a border around the perimeter of this room, and to do that, we're going to separate the colors by doing a shallow saw cut into the concrete surface. Remember, concrete's a big sponge and it's going to absorb moisture.
Okay.
So a lot of times the stain will actually absorb underneath that tape. That's why we usually break that concrete, the surface tension of the concrete, by doing a shallow saw cut.
Okay.
We can do that several different ways. One way is simple with a 4-inch grinder with a diamond blade.
Okay.
Another piece of equipment is what's called a mongoose. You will chalk our lines, and we have guides front and rear. It'll be hooked up to a vacuum system. It also has a diamond blade, which will create that shallow saw cut. We will then mask that off and stain the middle area separate color from the border.
Okay, sounds great. Well, it looks like you're going to get going here on scoring a line and cleaning the floor. I'm going to go check on the next room where they're using water-based stains. We'll see you in a bit, Jim.
Thank you much. Bye now. so far was prepare the floor with our floor machine, and we've let it dry overnight. Our next step is going to be to mask off areas and do the border a different color. We're going to do that by hand because it is a tight area and we do have a bathroom area. So instead of spraying it, because the fixtures are in, we don't want to get any stain on those fixtures, because stain will color porcelain or anything like that. So we're going to apply our stain to the outside perimeter first, and after a bit we'll be spraying the inside a different color. Okay, the next thing we're going to start to do is mix our stain and get it into our sprayers. I'm going to apply disposable gloves, as safety is a big concern as we are dealing with an acid-based product. First thing we're going to do is take our Sierra Stain. We're going to make sure the cap's on tight and shake it up a little bit. We're going to mix equal parts stain and water. You can see I have several mixing containers, different sizes. We're going to mix our stain with 1 part water to 1 part stain. We're going to start by filling up this vessel. We're only going to mix enough stain for our job. We don't need to mix any additional. And we'll add the stain to the water. This is mixed 1 part water to 1 part stain. You can see that I've labeled my sprayer the color that we will be using, because sometimes you get several sprayers on the job and it's very difficult to tell what color you are using. That we applied Butterfield Color's Sierra acid stain. You can see in the field area we have a mottled effect. We used 2 different colors in this area, and also if you notice we did have a crack running through the concrete surface that we did some faux finishing techniques to try to disguise that crack. We also added some additional cracks so it looks like it was part of the floor. We applied 2 coats of Butterfield Color ClearGuard H2O Wet Look Sealer. Our next step will be to wax the floor. The wax becomes the sacrificial surface similar to waxing your car paint. We will apply several coats of wax initially and then the wax will need to be maintained. Today we are going to be using Johnson's Premia wax and a simple cotton applicator. There are several different ways to install the wax. You can use a rayon mop, or there are different applicators available. I'm going to be pouring some of the wax directly onto the floor and then spreading it evenly with the applicator.